Oh, perfect. Perfect. All right. We're going to look at the patch notes together real quick. So I didn't get to react to this live. I was bummed out not being able to... Jesus Christ, that's bright. Oh my God. How do you people not die with your eyeballs? Okay, there's less dim than it was. Okay. Here, I can even zoom us in a little bit so we can actually read these. Runa Sanctuary also works with regen, but gets nerfed to 10%. I didn't know it didn't work with regen. This is the percentage of AR into vitality instead of precision. That's what I was talking about before. Fury goes up to 25%. This is to counter spotter and banners not being a thing anymore. So this is to kind of help with that, alleviate that problem. Adrenals and Singularities now reset Ranger Pet and Mechanist Mech Command skill cooldowns. That's really cool. That makes sense. That's just... I can't believe that wasn't there already. Clarified a skill fact to indicate that each eruption can strike 6 times. The tooltip now matches the actual target cap. Reduce the target cap to 5. Oh, I didn't know that was higher than 5. Seems reasonable. Increased cooldown in PvP. This is PvP stuff for Conjure Earth Shield. That's very strange to me. Crit strike chance by 5% while attuned to air. Oh, I see. These are just tucking 5% in here and there. Right. That's what they talked about. This is the other half for Ellie. This is the other half of countering spotters and spotter and banners being gone. Okay. Increased fury duration. What does it do now? I wish I could see a before and after. Oh, it's only in air. That's a good point, actually. So you're either going to be undercapped in the other elements, or you're going to be overcapped by 5% in air. Yeah, this is a throwaway. This is completely throwaway. If you're weaving, if you're trying to weave or catalyst, this is throwaway. You don't even need to think about this. That's a good point, because if you switch to fire and use your grand finale and it doesn't crit because of that 5%, that's shit. Ooh, thank you, Bunny. That's a good thing I want to look at. I will be pulling that up and giving a look at that. So anyway, Raging Storm does more fury. Now applies to up to 5 targets within a range. Oh, that's interesting. Increased internal cooldown. I wish I knew what it was beforehand. Lightning Sis is all PvP stuff for staff. Now affects up to 5 allies in a circle. What does this do? Gain barrier. Oh, so you can give barrier as a weaver? That's interesting. Lucid Singularity. The trait has been reworked. Now applies alacrity to nearby allies upon successfully completing an overload. Duration is now 6 seconds on a radius of 360. So... Any difference between Tomes of Mentorship and Knowledge? Yeah, if your character's level 80, you cannot use Tomes of Mentorship. Otherwise, that's it. There is no difference. So it looks like Omicron and Coden are the way to go, it looks like. Gotta go now, Hells. Okay, TC. Yeah, use the mentorship for sub 80, and then after that, it doesn't matter. That's the only difference, is if once you get to level 80, if you want spirit shards, you're not getting them from a Tome of Mentorship, because they don't work on level 80s. I see both of them. Yeah, I see both of them. So if I wait for the 20 seal Omicron or 20 seal Coden, that's the way to go. Yeah, I see that. Over five silver per seal. 5.5 silver per seal? I don't know what to see that. Was it TC that wanted, or no, it was Audi, right? Yeah, it was Audi. Okay, I was like, I'm not going to go over this if the guy who wanted to see it's leaving, but... so this is Tempest doing Alacrity. No big deal. Catalyst, deploy Jade Spear Air. The default boon has been changed from Quickness to Fury. It still provides Quickness in PvP. The damage coefficient per strike reduced a little bit. This trait now increases the radius in all game modes. Okay, in PvE, it causes deploy Jade Sphere in air attunement to provide quickness, additionally provide quickness, and reduces all outgoing damage dealt by 10%. That's okay. Okay. When Ellie's were complaining when Ellie's were complaining like, oh, I do 10% less damage, I thought you had to make a choice. I thought you had to make a trait choice that was like, I can't do 10% more damage, or I can't take this trait that lets me do a bunch more damage, or I didn't know it literally just shaved damage off of you. That's really fucking janky and really fucking lazy, to be honest. That's I see why they're mad. That's fucking lazy. That's so lazy. You can do better than that. I'll try to keep myself in check and understand none of this is set in stone. None of this is permanent. This may be addressed later, but that is such a lazy way to go about it. Damage coefficient, hammer. Damage coefficient reduced. Damage coefficient reduced. Damage coefficient reduced. Okay, so they just made hammer worse. A bunch of... This is the... Looks like the water auto and this water skill. They just made it hit less. An earth skill... Are these autos? These might be autos. These first 5 might be autos. I'm not sure, but anyway, make everything. Yeah, this one isn't. Yeah, these are autos. Isn't the point of Ellie to switch attunements? Yes. Yes, usually. You'll want to be dancing through your attunements. How do you mean? How do you mean they push him to try? I would love to sit in a single attunement. I would really like an elementalist spec that chooses 1 or 2 elements, like a revenant chooses legends, and just sit in that one attunement and get different boons and abilities based on that one attunement, like to really focus in. Partially because like crit only applying in air. That's a throwaway skill fact, honestly. No one... You're either gonna be at crit cap, you know, 100% crit chance in air, and then 95% in other attunements, which is, yeah, you're still gonna crit almost every time, but like that 1 in 20 time, what if you're casting your big firestorm or what if you're casting your hammer's grand finale in fire and you don't crit? Like, you just lost a bunch of fucking damage. So no one's gonna sit at 95%. They're gonna push to 100 anyway and completely ignore that 5% from. That's how I would do it. I would completely ignore that. Like, oh, okay, that's irrelevant. I need 100% in all my attunements. Or what's the point? Stupid. Anyway, on to engineer. Total waste is just a bad change. The other classes just get 5. Well, someone else said warriors crit 5% is in like their Condi trait line. So it doesn't matter. And I don't think warriors... Is warrior one that gets criticals, bleeds on crit? It might be. So I understand why Ellies are mad. That 10% reduction is lazy. Hip shot has been replaced with rifle burst. Delivers a quick burst of fire that pierces, followed by a grenade. Jesus. Total damage coefficient increased in PvE. Okay. Net shot. Moved from 2nd to 3rd in the rifle sequence. Immobilize increase. Move from 3rd to 2nd. Now additionally applies might in a range. Might applied 5 for 8 seconds in PvE. Cooldown is reduced in PvE. Cooldown is reduced in competitive. Increased power. Okay. All right. Jump shot. Max range increased a little bit. The launch blast is now an explosion. Makes sense. Animation updated for more bounce. Lol. Isn't the Ellie one only while in air? Yes. Yes. That's what I'm saying. No one's going to sit in air for 5%. You're wasting so many. Yeah, exactly. There's a bad line, but still applies to all weapons. Yeah, you've got it. Yeah, the LE one, no one's that. They basically may as well not even add that. No one's going to benefit in any meaningful way from that. I would, like I said, I would love to have like a focused elementalist spec where I can choose air attunement. Like, yeah, hey, I'm air attunement. I'm gonna really sit in air and be a lightning mage and be fucking, you know, all powerful like fucking Khadgar from Warcraft or something, but no. They don't have that yet. Shitty. Frenzy the legendary got updates? No, I didn't see that. Jump shot got a bit of a buff, it looks like. Reduced cooldown, more range, it works with explosions. Throw mine, slight nerf in World v World. Increased bonus crit chance. Yep, there's their 5% to deal with banners and spotter. Trait has been reworked, now grants might to allies while in combat. Goodbye pinpoint. It's been real. I'm going right from the top down. I'll see it. High caliber range threshold increase, no scope range threshold increase. That's really good. That's a nice buff. I think they're awkward to use. I use them with my flamethrower PvE build, but they're kind of awkward to use otherwise, I think, if you're playing with any mechanics, any moving groups, anything like that. Minimum range threshold reduced. Okay, that's also good. Just making things easier to use. Medical dispersion field now stores self-applied healing while in combat and expends all stored healing at a 3-second interval to heal nearby allies. Now functions with healing over time, like okay, all of those. To account for healing over time effects, now activating this trait, the percentage is this banner? Oh, is shared with nearby allies. Okay. And it works with regen. Wow, okay. The percentage is reduced to 33%. That's fair, I think. I didn't know these things didn't work with regen and these other, you know, these other things. That's really good. So like you could, this would be ridiculous, but you could have a guardian using battle presence to give it to this engineer running medical dispersion field, which would then give it back to the guardian. Fucking silly. So silly. I don't know why you'd have those healers together like that, but that's a silly interaction that came to mind. The mech's Defiance bar is now locked so that it's no longer susceptible to control effects. It can still be controlled in competitive. Makes sense. Now additionally increases the mech's base chance from 5 to 25. If explosives is traded with aim-assisted rocket, the mech also gains the effect of that trait. Critical hits launch a missile at your target. Oh. Okay, that's kind of cool. This mech command skill is now cast instantly. Confusion is reduced. Most other mech commands will display a cooldown equal to the cast. Oh, good. So I can't interrupt it. Good. Heal mech got even easier to play. That's really good. I am a missile. That's true. Homing in on that booty, Brungle. I'm just kidding. So that's good. It makes it easier to use. I like that. Damage increase for Spark Revolver. Stun duration increased on Rocket Fist. The mech's Rocket Punch is now triggered whenever Skill 3 is used on an engineer-equipped weapon. So any Skill 3. Rocket Punch is now instant and no longer interrupts other skills the mech is performing. Rocket Punch no longer stuns and instead deals Defiance. I like that. They're making it easier to use, which I really like. The mech command skills animation duration has been reduced from... Okay, that's fine. Jade Dynamo has been removed. No longer causes mech attacks to sometimes include an explosion, nor does it allow the mech to inherit the effect of explosives traits. Instead, it now reduces the cooldown of mech skills by 20% and grants quickness after. So is Heal Alac mech gonna also... Or is Jade Dynamo exclusive from Alacrity? It is, isn't it? It is, I think, isn't it? If you take Jade Dynamo, you can't take... Hang on, we're gonna find out. Traits that improve this trait. Mechanist. Traits. Where's traits? Traits. Yeah, Jade Dynamo. No. Oh. Yeah, Heal Mech doesn't. What are you saying about giving energy? Oh, I was saying if you... Yeah, I see it. I see it. Because if you don't take Barrier Burst, you're going to have a bad time using Barrier to give Alacrity. I see it. I see it. I see it, Chaos. Thank you. Yep. I see it. I had to come and investigate because I'm not familiar with... As familiar with mech. I'm sorry, Brendan. Let me see what you said. I'll pull this off on the other screen just in case it's unsavory. Ooh, vodka grandma slice pizza? I'm hungry, so I would try it, but if I wasn't hungry, I probably wouldn't try it. All right, I had to come and investigate. I'm not an NG main, but that's good. Okay, that's fine. So you could do quickness, or you could do... It's real savory. Hell yeah. I'm glad, buddy. How are you feeling? Are you recovering well? My boy Ding Ding had COVID a little bit ago. I hope he's feeling better. He seems to be better. He seems out and about. So could you get like a heal quickness or like a DPS quickness mech? You feel fine? I'm glad to hear it, pal. I'm really glad. Instead of firing missiles only at enemies in a forward arc, it now fires in a circular radius. Okay. Superconducting vulnerability duration per hit reduced a little bit. Okay. There's no... Chaos, so you're not paying attention, my guy? Chaos thinks he's the smartest kid. Can't pay attention. On Tuesday, the quickness is only, it just, okay, it might just be for the mech. Yeah, that's true. And grants quickness. It doesn't say. It doesn't say. Came back. Why did you leave? That's illegal. No, I'm just reading the upcoming changes. It says about quickness being granting quickness. So it might just be for the mech. It might be for the engineer. Like maybe it just gives the engineer quickness. Who knows? I got food. Didn't you eat yesterday? Come on. All right, and now here's the Guardian changes. You know how I feel about these. Strength in numbers makes sense to give Prot. We're getting there, buddy. We're getting there. Amplify. This is my nerf right here. This is the extent of my nerf right here. Burning damage increase reduced from 15% to 10%. Just a little bit shaved off. Which, if for me, this is like not a full 5% of all my damage, but because of how I play Firebrand, this is between 4 and 4.5. 4 and 4.5%. You can carry if you want. I don't care. We can pop into an instance real quick if you want. I just wanted to go over things with everybody. There you go. You don't like the strength in numbers nerf. I don't mind it. I think it's going to be easier to keep protection up, which is already not a problem, though with Stone Spirit changing. Well, actually, Stone Spirit won't change. It'll still give protection. Anyway, we'll get there. We'll get there. I think it makes sense if you're doing away with all the unique buffs. It's kind of a nerf. We don't need a cheese comp. See, that's true, Emra. That's true. Was strength in numbers good? It was like Empower Allies or Assassin's Presence, but it was for toughness. So it gives, here, I can show you, actually. I can show you in-game. Strength in numbers is right here. Nearby allies gain up to 100 toughness. So it just gives you extra toughness, extra beef. You know what I'm saying? But now it'll just pulse protection. Which makes sense. Again, it just makes sense for the theme of removing unique buffs, so I'm fine with that. Perfect Inscriptions no longer grants Signet passives. Instead, Signets continue to provide their passive while recharging. It's an interesting effect, but it's just the Earth. It's Ellie's Earth Signet trait. It's Ellie's Earth Signet trait. It's the same trait, which is fine. I don't mind that. It's competing with Amplified Wrath. It's competing with Righteous Instincts. So it's like you're either going to take all your extra burning damage, even though it's still only 10%. You still get the 20% burning duration. You still get 10% burning. I'm still going to be viable. I'm not that worried about it. But you're competing with that, and you're competing with Righteous Instincts, which is your resolution giving crit chance. There's no reason to take PI, even on a heal brand, which is what Gab was upset about. There's no reason to take Perfect Inscriptions. You could make a meme Signety build, I guess. Yeah, exactly. Emra's got it. The other two are just, no matter what you're doing, if you're doing Condi, if you're doing Power, the other two are always better. And now, if you're running Healer, which is another grievance Gab has voiced, why take Radiance at all? Just take Valor or Honor. Just take one of the other. Why bother? Don't even take Radiance as a healer. The other two are always, exactly. So why would you bother? Now, I like the Signet changes a lot. I like these a lot, except maybe Sig of Courage, which I didn't think about until, until TC brought it up. Decrease the passive's internal cooldown from 10 to 5. So every 5 seconds, it can cleanse a Condi. And now, this effect will now protect the player from an incoming duration by immediately removing it and then beginning the cooldown. That's fucking dope. The active now also removes 2 conditions. Okay, I misread that before. So you heal and removes 2 conditions. So though this Signet is very anti-condition. That's pretty cool. I feel like this is going to be a strong choice in PvP for Guardian classes, for Guardian builds. Every 5 seconds, just boop, free Condi. Heal, remove 2 more. I feel like that's going to be a strong choice. Mercy, reduce the cooldown. That's very welcome. Immobile duration increased. That's irrelevant. Sig of Courage, cooldown reduced to 60 seconds. That's fine. Active effect radius reduced, which is Now heals for a smaller amount and 5 small channeled heal pulses followed by 1 large final heal. Now also channels boons. Does not apply stab in competitive. Now, I like about this, where is it? in here. I like about this that see how this says active heal 100%, fully heal nearby allies. If they don't go with a percentage, I can't do cool things like I'm gonna like, hey, my Deimos run is struggling. My healer got taken to the upside down and I got stayed up. Or maybe I'm the healer. Maybe I'm the oil kiter. Maybe I stayed up. Maybe I'm tanking. I don't know. I could use Sig of Courage and heal Saul minimum 50,000 health, which stacks with, you know, your Eternal Oasis, your Transference Sigil, your Monk Runes, all those things, your heal food, all that stuff. So I've seen like over 70,000 healing in a single packet from a good Sig of Courage. So if these smaller amounts and this final amount are not percentage based, I'm going to be very disappointed. Put upper caps on them, but if it doesn't still, if 5 small channeled and 1 large final, like what would that be? Like 8,700 or 5,555 and then 25k maybe? I don't know. Put those caps on it and make it percentage based, and I'm like, I'm Gucci. They put Solace back to offering Aegis instead of Protection and Resolution in competitive. They reverted Mantra of Solace to its old usage only in competitive, which is very interesting to me. I would love to see it fully reverted. I understand that Aegis is really hard to balance. It carries really hard. I'm also, after just finally trying Willbender in PvP for the first time really yesterday, it's a lot of fun. I wish I hadn't waited so long. And this is, it is really brokenly strong. I played a match earlier today on stream. This is the only nerf they're getting, is it's reducing Flowing Resolve's ammo count to 1 in PvP. Cool. That's it for Guardian. On to Mesmer. Master Fencer now may activate on any critical hit, granting 4 seconds of Fury on up to 5 allies. So what does this do now? Gain Fury when you strike an enemy. Oh, okay, so they just changed it to on any crit and also gives the Fury to anyone. Okay, that's good. Buff, I guess, for dueling. Bonus crit chance from Fury. Oh, okay, this is just a little... Oh, wow, so this is Virtuoso. So Virtuoso Fury is going to do 35% crit. Wow. Bleed on hit removed from Blade's Song Sorrow. Okay, so that's a pretty serious Condi-vert nerf. Wow. Seize the moment. Bleed on F2 being removed means Greatsword Vert might just be better than Sword Focus. Interesting. Seize the moment, increase radius. Tides of Time now also applies quickness in a radius when cast. Ooh. That nerf isn't serious? Okay. All right. Well, see, just from an outsider, I don't play Vert, I don't play Mesmer, so I don't know. Tides of Time getting some more quickness, reworked and renamed to Stretch Time. Right now it says gain alacrity when you inflict slow. Now it says the first pulse of a well also applies alacrity for 4 seconds near the well in a radius of 360. Tides of Time now also applies alacrity. So you could take Stretch Time and do alacrity. Most of the bleed comes from crits and not the F2. Okay, so it is a nerf, but not a big one. Gotcha. Good to know. Tides of Time, cooldown reduced. The stun enemy and ally boon components now have separate 5 target caps. Oh, so you could stun 5 enemies and give 5 allies boons with a single cast. That'd be dope. The skill no longer applies quickness and alacrity as the wave passes through. Instead, it applies swiftness for 5 seconds and 5 seconds of might for 15 seconds in a radius when cast. The trait Seize the Moment now adds 5 seconds of quickness, while Stretch Time adds 5 seconds of alacrity. So can they do both? Now grants super speed instead of quickness. Okay, there it is. Okay. Well of Recall has been renamed Well of Senility. Now removes 2 bones on the final pulse instead of providing alacrity. No, so it's the 2 Grandmaster trades. And then I didn't get down here to this part where Well of Action won't give quickness and Well of Recall won't give alacrity anymore. So that's where I was wondering. I'm like, with wells, with everything, like, can they do both? Maybe if they didn't change the wells. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Interesting. On to Necromancer. The skill now inflicts a second of fear instead of 2 seconds of daze. I like that. I don't know if it's good or bad, but I like it. Locust Swarm now heals nearby allies around the Necro based on number of enemies hit. In addition to, I like that. That's kind of fun. I don't know. The locusts suck life from, siphon health from. Oh, I guess, and okay, gives it to everybody. Okay. Reduced duration in PvP, that's fine. This trait now gives 10% crit chance. Currently gives, is it 50%? Crit chance 33 and ferocity 300. Now gives 10% regardless of whether the Necro is in Shroud. The trait now increases critical damage by 15% instead of ferocity. Wow. Let's resume the patch note reading. We were in Necro. Okay, right. So this is just free crit chance and free crit damage instead of Shroud stuff. Right, okay. Blood Bank now also converts incoming heal over time. Okay, yeah, this is good. This is good. Don't drop me. I won't drop you, buddy. See, I didn't know these didn't work with regen. I didn't know these traits. There's the medical dispersal field. There's this trait. There's another one. I didn't know they didn't work with regen. Level of guard, all old school, then solo, everything possible. Yeah, I did it. I just didn't stream it. My alt account, my EU account was that account. I got Dances with Demons on a free-to-play account completely without any help from my main. And it was a lot of fun. It was so much fun. And so, like, I want to do it. I think it would be a good series to just have, like, episodic advancements on the account. Although, I mean, if I stream for 6 hours a day, like, I could probably mostly finish it in, like, one day. And I mean, maybe not, but I cheated. I took the easy mode because Halloween was up, and there are achievements you can do at Halloween to get stat selectable level 80 armor. So I had full exotic Sinister before I was even level 80. So, anyway. Effect now only occurs in combat. To account for healing over time, the damage, yep, the healing is reduction. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Banshee's Wail now grants outgoing healing effectiveness. That's pretty cool. Reaper has some, looks like buffs. In competitive, increased weakness duration, increased might stacks. Yeah, some competitive buffs to Reaper. I don't know that any of them are really very important. It looks like mostly cooldown stuff. Harbinger elixirs now use normal projectile targeting underwater instead of ground targeting. Yes, Pink Bunny. Reduced might stacks from 25 to 10. Okay, well, that seems reasonable. Press yes. Okay, let's go. Yes. Okay. On to Ranger. Spirit skills now affect 5. Spirit no longer apply effects on ally when they strike. Instead, each spirit applies a boon on a 3-second interval. Yep. Nature's Vengeance trait increases the base duration of these boons and causes activated skills to apply alacrity. Okay. Spirits and their applied boons, regen, vigor, fury, protection, might. Yeah, Sea Stone Spirit does still do protection. Okay. Pack Alpha, fix an issue with certain okay, so that's a bug fix. That's good. Clarion Bond, fixed to remain on the skill bar. That's good. Nature's Vengeance now increases spirits. Right, we just talked about that. Spotter gives Fury. Okay. Bonus damage while flanking increased. Wow. I didn't expect that. Bonus flanking and bonus, well, the bonus crit chance is fine, but that's extra 5% damage for, that's pretty good for flanking. Might applied reduced to 1 stack for 10 seconds. What is it now? 2 stacks for 12 seconds? I don't know. That's kind of shitty. Lingering Light now gives passive Astral Force generation while not in avatar form. While in form, grants outgoing healing as well as 10% outgoing healing for 10 seconds after exiting. Wow! Lingering Light. Lingering Light's kind of banging. Increased outgoing healing bonus per stack to a 1.5% in competitive. Good. Maybe I don't really see a lot of druids. The really problematic druids won't benefit from this, so that's fine. In World v World, those annoying, like, Trailblazer stay alive forever sons of bitches, they won't get any benefit from this. Healing of tethered allies may occur once every half-second interval. Healing can now be triggered by regen or healing over time effects. I like that they're allowing regen. Like, that's still valid healing. Whenever you're healed, heal the tethered allies. Okay, good. Heal attribute scaling. Leader of the pack. The personal stance duration has been reduced to match the PvP value of 20%. Okay, wow. One wolf pack. In PvE, reduce recharge and duration Matching PvP values. In PvP only, damage coefficient per strike is increased, and interval between strikes is increased. Someone said this is a nerf. I don't know how bad the nerf is, so I don't know. There are further changes planned to Untamed. However, these are not yet ready for release with this update. Okay. Hammer abilities get stronger. Good. Poisonous Maul with the Murello. Fix an issue. Okay, good. Bug fixes. Love it. Now grants regen instead of alacrity. Now grants regen instead of alacrity and Legendary Centaur. It's a nerf, but mainly a nerf for strikes for fights like Sama and Fractals. Okay. Someone said it was like 27% of the damage that it used to be. Like it's maybe of that skill specifically. I don't know. No longer creates healing orbs, and oh, that's good. Anything that makes anything easier to use. Like, you shouldn't, I mean, the healing orbs is a cool idea, but like in practice, it's so annoying. It's so frustrating to walk over a little orb, a healing orb. Just like the Dragon Hunter trap that gives little Aegises all over the ground. That shit's so lame. It's for sure a DPS nerf if you used to share it to DHs. Oh yeah, because they would hit a billion times. Yeah. Wow. Assassin Presence now gives Fury, just like Spotter does. That's interesting. So this gives regen instead of alacrity and Legendary Centaur stance. How does this work? Refresh your bond, gaining energy and legend specific. Oh, I see. So it would give alacrity. It would give the Revenant alacrity with Centaur. Okay. That makes more, regen makes more sense for that anyway. I'm okay with that. After summoning, the next skill will be empowered. This occurs when entering stance or when using Project Tranquility. Healing is increased. Additional condies are removed. Oh, and endurance is granted. That's kind of cool. Grant protection, knockdown duration. Oh, right. The duration is increased. Project Tranquility. This now activates instantly. Increase base heal. Rev's nerf kills alacrity heal vindicator. This one, this ancient echo change. Or, I mean, how else would you give alacrity? This skill no longer has an energy cost, reduced cooldown. This skill no longer heals allies. Is this the one that moves it? Yeah, that's the movement. So you can move it whenever you want. That's kind of nice. Increase heal attribute scaling. Increase heal attribute scaling. Okay. The Ventari change. Okay. No longer creates healing fragments. Instead heals, removes condies. The skill no longer consumes all energy. Increased energy cost. The skill now knocks down enemies that it strikes instead of knocking them back. Okay. Banish enchantment is harder in Worldly World. That's fine. Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. There's a lot of changes here. This trait no longer creates a healing orb and instead heals nearby allies after completing a dodge. Okay. That's Guardian Selfless Staring. This trait now has an internal cooldown of 3 seconds. The 10-second in PvP is unchanged. This trait has been removed. Invoking Harmony has been moved to this slot. Invoking Harmony. Healing done to other allies is increased after... Okay. What does this do? The healing orbs you create now grant vigor. Okay, well, you don't do healing orbs anymore, so that makes sense. This trait has been removed and replaced with Eluding Nullification. Okay. Dodge rolling removes a condition. This removes a condition from your... Okay. Words of Censure. This trait no longer creates a healing orb and instead heals nearby allies when blinding, immobilizing, or affecting a foe with crowd. Blinding, immobing, or CCing. Fortify. This feels previously held by Invoking Harmony. Grant protection when you remove a condition. Okay. Pro uptime. Good. Outgoing healing bonus up. No longer causes Natural Harmony to grant alacrity. This change must be what you're talking about. Instead, it causes Centaur Stance skill to apply the following boons. Vigor, Regen, Swiftness, Resistance. This trait no longer creates healing orbs and instead heals nearby allies when activating a legend skill. Healing is increased. Yep, okay. This trait has been removed and replacing with Invigorating Dismissal, which grants endurance when Revenant removes a condition. Okay, so it's very anti-Condi, it seems like. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Increased cooldown in PvP. Herald. The bonus damage per active upkeep is up to 5%. The bonus per non-Herald active upkeep has been increased to 15%. Okay, a little Herald buff there. Draconic Echo now grants a second half of quickness to allies when the Revenant uses a consume skill. This is the one I think they're talking about, that even with 100%, they don't think you can do quickness. You can do reliable, good quickness on a Herald. Increased cooldown, damage multiplier increased, weakness duration increased, chill duration increased, burning duration increased, PvP only. Increased cooldown. See, like, you're increasing these consumes. You're making it even harder to do quickness. Increased cooldown in PvP, reduced base heal in PvP. A lot of changes to the Salvation line. Minor buffs to Herald, but, like, the quickness thing is not a thing. You're not going to be able to do that in this state. They're going to have to change more. Utility, reduced duration in PvP, reduced cooldowns in PvP. Trait and remove replaced by Merciful Ambush. This trait has been moved to Adept Minor. You can do about 70 to 80%. I don't know. It's not bad, but, like, you don't aim for not bad, you know? You don't take a quickness to have... Okay. You don't take a quickness roll to, you know, have quickness most of the time. Yes. Yes. Join the instance. Yes, very good. Ugh. All right. I'm back to the patch notes. Blah! All right. Okay. Concealing Restoration has been removed and replaced by Merciful Ambush. This trait has been moved to the Adept Minor slot and now heals when entering or exiting stealth instead of applying a pulse heal upon entering stealth. What does that mean? They heal and revive over a short duration. Oh, I see. So instead of a short duration, it's just instant. Okay. Oh, entering or exiting. Okay, I see. Weird. Okay. This trait fills the slot previously held. It grants barrier when finishing. How big is the difference instead of pulse? We don't know that yet. We'll know that Tuesday. We'll know the numbers Tuesday for sure. This trait now removes a damaging condition when entering or exiting stealth instead of at every interval while in stealth. This effect also applies to stealth granted to allies. Okay, I like that. Hidden Thief has been reworked. Stealing now inflicts blindness. Stealth attacks now inflict weakness. The pulse was not too big. Yeah, nobody really used that. I think it'll be interesting for, like, a heal, a Lax Spectre to try to res people with stealth. Maybe. But I don't know. Meld with Shadows. Reworked. Players now gain super speed when entering or exiting stealth. It's a failed attempt to buff Heal Thief. Yeah, like I said, I think it's Heal Thief stuff. Stealing grants you stealth. Okay, so that doesn't work anymore. I don't like that. I liked Steal grants stealth. Stealth lasts longer. That doesn't happen anymore. This trait now grants stacks of Spider Venom when entering or exiting stealth instead of at every interval. Okay. This trait has been removed and replaced by Cloaked in Shadow. Strike damage taken is reduced while revealed. Gaining stealth blinds foes. Blinding a foe siphons health. This trait fills the slot. Cover of Shadow fills the slot previously held by Cloaked in Shadow. So Refuge becomes a bigger utility? Maybe, because well, I don't know, because the Pulse, I don't know. Because if they don't gain stealth, they don't get more healing. So it's just throw a heal on them, they get that Pulse, or throw a heal. Throw Shadow Refuge on them, they would either get the Pulse, or they would just get the one big heal. And so now it's like, if it's the same amount either way, I don't think Shadow Refuge is going to matter. It just seems like there's a lot of interaction with stealthing and de-stealthing options, at least. Players now gain protection when entering or exiting stealth. This effect also applies to stealth-granted allies. This trait no longer grants healing or initiative while in stealth, and instead grants initiative when entering or exiting. Yeah, they're trying to have you come in and out of the shadows, I think. Giggity. Crit chance increase, that's the spotter banner change. Unrelenting strikes, this trait may now activate on any critical hit instead of below the threshold. Okay, granting 4 seconds of fury. There's a lot of this same shit. Any critical hit instead of a threshold, any critical hit, and then you get 4 seconds of fury to allies in a radius for 8 seconds. This has been copy pasted a bunch of times. I've read this like 2 or 3 other times. Thrill of the Crime. Might stacks increased. Okay. I like Thrill of the Crime. Traversing Darkness. Reduced base Shadow Force gain in PvP. That's fine. You only have one way of going into stealth, which is very annoying on Heal Spectre, unless you take Shadow Refuge. Shadow Refuge still has a fat cooldown, though. Like, that's such a weird thing. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Anyway, we're on to Warrior. I think might be the last class I haven't read yet. We're almost done. On Escort. Okay, am I going to get kicked out if I'm not there? No, but I'd better get into position at least. Let me just put Ashes on autocast. Alright, on to Warrior. On to Warrior. This charge, this skill no longer grants allies increased damage on their next 2 attacks. Instead, they grant 2 seconds of quickness to allies. Cooldown increased from 15 to 20. Swiftness duration increased from 15 to 20. The stealth is terrible for a healer. Yeah, it is. It just doesn't make sense in like a raid setting. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's very weird. Banners no longer provide attribute bonuses. Instead, quickness is granted when in the area when a warrior uses a banner skill, and then the banner will continue to pulse boons for the remainder of its duration. The boons are defense resistance, discipline fury. Is it every second? Is it 1 second of fury for every 1 second? If you have a DPS thief, you hard fuck with their rotations if you give stealth when they don't need it. No, I don't think Spectre Shroud counts as stealth. Am I dying? I am dying. Probably 3 second interval with one. Yeah, with one. Shroud, no, I don't think so. I don't think Shroud counts as stealth. Does the stealth matter? Stealth all... Well, the problem, like Gab is saying, is if you have a heal thief and the DPS thief does stealth to the heal thief, like you're stuck stealth or revealed, and maybe you didn't need it, or maybe some an ally gets stealth and revealed, and they can't, now the heal thief can't stealth them to give them these boons, this healing. So I think that's gonna cause a lot of you know, unless it's on every application of stealth, because then Shadow Refuge would keep pulsing to give you more and more stealth, and you would get this benefit. Then it wouldn't matter quite as much. I think revealed would still be an issue, but it would be at least a little more, it would be a little more tantalizing to be like, yeah, let's just pop Shadow Refuge, and even, but then if your whole group is hitting, I don't know. I don't know. It's very weird. Giving them stealth really hurt anything if it's always better to be in stealth. It's not, though. It's hard to... If they have revealed and they can't be given stealth, then when the heal thief... Actually, it could go either way. Yeah, you never want to be in stealth. Stealth is not... For raids, for doing damage, stealth is never the play. You want to... At one point, it was meta to dip in and out of stealth. How has that not been allowed by now? The word fucks? Come on. How has that not been allowed by now? How are you the first person to say fucks? So it's just... There was a point in time when Deadeye had a dagger build that you wanted to dip in and out of stealth as much as possible, but that's self-stealth. If you throw stealth as a healer onto another DPS thief, it'll break their whole rotation and ruin their damage. And similarly, if a DPS, all the core weapons are better stuff. It's about overall damage. It's about overall damage, and it does interrupt your auto. I don't know about a lot of the intricacies of Thief, to be honest, but there's... Yeah, you want to be revealed, but at what cost? You know what I mean? It just seems messy. It seems like messy. And stealth does interrupt your auto because it's a different auto. So it does restart your chain. And stealth staff isn't even good, I don't think. Is it? Is stealth the staff's... Oh, here's back. Yeah. Lone knows. Primo knows. Lone knows what's up. Yeah. Backstab and Heartseeker. That's it, bro. That's how you play Thief. Hello? No, Yeah, it's a CC, but yeah, it's a C. Yeah, that's what I thought. You don't want stealth on Daredevil, do you? Like, it's weird. It's very weird to lean on stealth for healing and for boons. It's very weird to me. Anyway, banners. Resistance, Fury, Might, Regen. Picking up a banner no longer reduces the recharge. Instead, they can be carried around and dropped to reposition them. Picking up a banner does not grant the warrior additional skills, but they will continue to pulse their associated boons. The delay before you can pick up a dropped banner has been increased to 3 seconds. All banners reduced to 60 seconds except Battle Standard, which is reduced to 120. Reduced duration, base duration of pulsing boons applied by this banner as follows. Might to 5 seconds, Fury to 1 second, Swiftness to 1 second. So why would you would never take Battle Standard for anything other than the res or the finish. You only stealth yourself, then instant reveal yourself. But you instant reveal yourself by attacking anyway. Well, oh, I see. Instant reveal yourself. I see. Yeah, your third auto on Daredevil is very strong. Your third auto and your skill 2 are very strong on Daredevil. So you want to not interrupt those as best as possible. Now increase the duration of all boons applied. Good. Yes, good. Wonderful. Some World v World changes. Not all nerfs. Reduced power for Scorched Earth, but increased power coefficient for Fan of Fire. Reduce cooldown. Some changes to Longbow. Not all nerfs or buffs. Absolutely no one will use the defensive banner thing. No. Not for resistance. Resolution they might. Not for resistance. They won't care about resistance. Chat looks weird because I'm in display share mode. Instead of... I'm in screen share mode instead of game share mode. So your guys are seeing chat how I see chat. That's why if I play Daredevil, I yell at the druids if they run stealth on C8. Yeah. Frenzy, minor buff. I hate Daredevil, I die too much. I don't die, I just don't dodge enough. I learned that I don't dodge enough, so my damage is not very good. Clarified in the description that passive only get... Okay, that's fine. Now increases the critical chance from Fury by 5%. This is the one they were talking about. Furious Burst in arms. This is the one they were talking about. A burst skill grants Fury, and Fury does more. Arms. Expertise, Signets, Fury, and Adrenaline. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Gain condition damage. Increased gain... Inflict bleeding on crit. Bleeds you apply lasts longer. This is the only place where it makes sense right here. Is bleeding on crit. Need to swap that with double banner trait. Yeah, put the Fury on double banner. That makes sense. If they expect us to go tactics for quickness. That makes sense. Bow, for you warrior main? I feel like you are, aren't you? Burst skills have increased crit. Crits grant... yeah, there's the Condi one. Yeah, I don't know. That's a weird one to me. Arms is a core spec for the warrior that focuses on critical hits and condition damage. Why would you give the Fury there? I don't know. That's weird. That's weird. Vigorous Shouts increased healing in World v World and in PvP a little bit. Different values, but they were both increased. EA has been reworked. Now gives might to allies in combat. Martial Cadence no longer reduces the recharge and weapon skills. It now causes soldiers' focus to grant allies 3 seconds of quickness, in addition to its other effects. Oh, it causes soldiers' focus to partially recharge all of your equipped weapon skills. Oh, it causes soldiers' focus to have its other effects. Okay, I'm like, there are no other effects on Martial Cadence. What do you mean its other effects? It adds quickness to soldiers' focus. Okay, I got you. Some Spellbreaker dagger buffs and Featherfoot Grace. I like that. Okay. Let me just finish. I'll catch up. I'm just getting through the Bladesworn stuff, and we'll be done. Then we'll catch up. This skill now blocks projectiles in addition to its other effects. Okay, that's kind of cool. This skill has been removed and replaced by overcharged cartridges. This skill makes your next 5 explosions deal more damage. Using the skill again while you still have charges triggers detonate charges. Using overcharged a second time consumes all charges to cause an explosion in front of the Bladesworn that launches enemies. The radius of the skill scales based on the number of charges consumed. That's fucking cool. Reduce the distance moved on Dragon Spike Mine. Reduce the total duration. The mine is now planted at the Bladesworn's initial location rather than midway through and explodes after 3 seconds, even when not triggered. This skill now counts as an explosion. Damage increased by 250% in PvE. Wow. And cooldown reduction. Wow, okay, Dragon Spike Mine. Dragon Slash Reach. Increased projectile size by 67%. This skill now strikes targets more accurately in relation to the width and height of the visual projectile. The projectile is now unblockable. Tactical Reload, in addition to its previous effects, now also causes the next dragon trigger to gain charges more quickly. That makes sense. In addition to its previous effects, this trait now also causes Tactical Reload to affect Dragon Trigger for the duration of the effect. Okay, hold on. That's wordy. Dragon Slash has a lower max charge but re-enters Dragon Trigger if you can pay the flow cost. I don't understand Bladesworn at all. Fixed an issue that prevented several skills from having their cooldowns properly reduced by Lush Forest. Using the first round of an ammo skill recharges. Okay. The Dragon Trigger buff is actually annoying. All right, let's hop back into the game. So overall, I don't know. I'm most disappointed with the Catalyst change. Not in practice, but just in execution. Alacrity Vindicator is not a thing anymore, which is a bit of a bummer. I thought, knowing what I know now, I think that was probably a little bit of ingenuity to come up with that build, and now it's not going to be a thing anymore. Quickness Herald isn't going to work. Minor nerfs to Guardian. Minor nerf to Guardian. Okay, we need to get some Condies cleansed here. Holy shit, we're struggling. So, yeah, that's how I feel. Those are my thoughts.